How are you doing? So I'm just gonna look at some ISDA contracts here. I'm gonna wait a second here, let everybody kind of jump in. But I got some ISDA contracts. I think it'll be pretty interesting to show some people. Second here, post. How's everybody doing today? Sorry, I'm just gonna post this real quick. As soon as we get some people in here, I'll go ahead and show the contracts here. Fuck, I might as well just show some of the contracts here. So I got a whole bunch of them. They're kind of older, but it's still pretty interesting to go ahead and finally look at some of these things. We actually found them, so that's pretty nice. Let me delete this here. Let me update this thing quick. 1 second. Suppose I should have got ready here quick. My bad, boys. Quick. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna delete the live chat for just a second here. Don't need to incorporate that. That way you guys can actually read everything all the way too. Actually play some music here. Fucking who cares?
I can feel it coming in the air.
Turn it down.
Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord,
The only way to change me is to blow my brains out, stuck in the middle of the game to get the pain out.
Alright, fuck it. We'll just start going over some of this stuff. So, I found, so basically, I don't know if you guys remember our last ISDA video. Yo, I'll turn this fucking music down a little bit. So, these ISDA contracts, basically, we found out these were how they were able to manipulate the market. And basically now, on Twitter, I don't know if you guys saw on that status. Give me a second here. They're starting to take out giant, second, pull this up here on John's. They're starting to take out giant contracts now because they're not able to pull out these ISDA contracts like they were able to do. So they're taking out these puts and these. They're basically buying these, and they're doing the same thing. They're doing the overstock thing. They're basically taking these options, making them super far out, using those to basically fill or give the appearance of their filling their shorts. But so instead of being able to do that like they're able to do in the other market, because now that's a lot more supervised. Like they're able to do this in see here on these old things. So basically, this is an old support credit annex. So basically, what they used to do is you would have turn that down a little bit more. Basically, so you would take this credit annex and you would just attach it to ISDA agreement. Like basically right now, so you'd have Bank of America is going to give whoever the fuck this accredited. This obviously is an older one, so it's 2006. But they're giving this accredited Home Lenders Inc. Party B. They're going to give them shares, either flex option shares. They're going to give them either puts, whatever they want to do. And basically, actually, I haven't even read this shit. Let's see what's all this. Sorry, I haven't even read these things yet. But I mean, what the fuck? So obviously, the collateral. I don't know what the collateral is yet. Hold on. Agency. I don't know what the fuck this is. I haven't really super looked into this yet. I just opened this. I just got off work a little bit ago. 50 thousand. Yeah, so basically now with these credit support annexes, they basically don't use it now after Phase 5 took place because now they actually have to deposit this collateral, which is nice because obviously it's going to start. One second, I'm just reading you guys' shit here. So obviously it's going to start basically costing them a lot of money, as you guys can see. So it's going to get harder and harder and harder for them to short the stock here. But what I also found out is, so I used to think that the agreement itself had the amount and the confirmation and the shares and everything that was attached, but actually what there's things called is a confirmation of swaps transaction, and this actually shows the what was basically used as collateral and shows that it was passed, what day was actually passed to party A and party B. What the hell is this? 500 fucking $1 million. I wish I'd just see where the fuck, how much money or whatever the hell they put fucking down on these things. Oh yeah, hold on. Extended notes on last another day, blah blah blah. It's fucking paid. I think they paid 500K. 500,000 cash, but I don't know what the hell they got yet. Hold on. Yeah, I think they paid 500K. What did they get? Shares or something? What the fuck they get? Okay, paid in full. Not too sure what they got yet. There you go. You would think they just put a fucking amount somewhere, like how many shares they got or something, God forbid. Obviously they paid 500,000. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck it was for. Jesus Christ. Well, they paid them 500,000. I don't know what the hell they got back though. Fucking is the contract, dude. Classic. Yeah. So these are these master agreements. Maybe you'll tell me the master fucking agreement. Hold on. So this is the master agreement, and then this is the fucking swap for that agreement, though. Thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah, let's check another one. I got a whole bunch of these. If you want to look, it's on. You could just. Oh, where the hell did the fucking tab go? It's on the ad. You could Google Edgar is the contract. You could just Google SEC Edgar data. Is the contracts, and you should come to this, and you can pull these up. These are older ones. I'm trying to get more from actual ISDA, but what I found out on these ISDA contracts is this transaction confirmations. There's there's a couple types of these things, and these are a whole bunch of different things that they can do for these swaps. So I'm trying to look more into these. Let's check these out real quick here. these schedules. So basically, I feel like these schedules are going to be the key to all these is the contracts and agreements. But because it looks like most of these agreements, I used to think, me and Randall used to think that these agreements were what would have all the information on everything. But it looks like they just sign it. I just don't understand why they wouldn't fucking tell you how many shares they get. Like, what the hell is this? This is the longest contract I've ever seen in my life that doesn't have fucking any information on what the hell you're passing to each other. Like, what the hell is this? Alright, well, what I did find out though, so for the brand new updates, let's just get to that information right now. So basically, what they need to do now is sign up for these protocols with Phase 5. They don't necessarily just do these agreements like they used to do. So this is for 2021. This is all the new participants that are actually in, that are able to write the current contracts. So I thought that was pretty neat. So you can actually go ahead and download some of this data here. Go ahead and pop this shit off quick. Oh, what the fuck is my... Alright, well, here. Let's go over here. So you can come down here and download each one of these dates, and it'll tell you who signed up on that day to be able to be used as the contracts here. So you actually get their names. Offshore account, offshore account, offshore account. Speaking of offshore accounts, so my next video here, I don't know if you guys have been looking at these Pandora papers at all, but this shit's been super, super interesting. They got a lot of crap in here that's like, it's insane. But they talk about offshore accounts, shell companies, and obviously all these, people we're up against is using these shell companies and stuff. What the fuck is, These talk about the firms that are like the biggest fucking ones that are doing all this offshore shit. I'm actually surprised fucking Citadel's not on there. But yeah, if you guys haven't looked at these Pandora papers at all, you should definitely Google them. Take a quick peek at them. I'll put a video out for sure on these things because, man, they're insane. I'm gonna keep looking into it. There's a lot more stuff on those. But one second. What the fuck were we on that protocol? I think it was the 6th. Here, give me a second. The 6th or somebody had... I've noticed lately with these ISDA contracts is... What the fuck is that? A lot of the credit card companies are actually getting involved in these, which I don't understand why. So I'm trying to get this thing open here. Give me 1 second. Alright, so here's a big ass one, so you guys can actually look at some of these now. Alright, so basically just worry about all these United States ones. But everybody in this is basically all, you got Allstate. These are all your people currently that are able to participate in ISDA contracts. Bank of America. But it's funny because most of this, like, if you know, most of these banks, if you look at almost every one of these banks on here, every single one of them has a shit ton of past violations of, like, here we can just take this fucking one. Like, here you go. So, like, the regulations show. So, basically, like I was saying with these ISDA contracts is they're able to take these ISDA contracts and push off FTDs, and they're able to push off shorts. And basically, they're not able to do this anymore because of all the new Phase 5 and the ruling. But before, they're able to, obviously, as you can see here, they're able to do these sham resets that we went over before in the Overstock lawsuit, where they're able to pretend that they sent shares. The bank will go ahead and say that they received those shares, and then basically nobody ever sent them out. And once the options expire, they just cancel out on both their systems. But in the meantime, they use them to fill those shorts. So it's like a sham reset, and basically it's the way they can just reset those shares and kick it down the road. But like I said, a lot of them, as you can see, are, I bet I could go down the list over and over, and I'll get more than just this one that is, fuck it, let's find another bank. What if Bank of America has fucking an SCBC violations? I'm sure they do. Oh, maybe if they didn't do so many fucking... Let's go back to these ISDA contracts real quick. Yeah, so these protocols, basically now, like I was saying, you have to, because of the Dodd-Frank, which is supposed to bring more transparency into ISDA, because currently there's, like I was saying, before all this Phase 5 and stuff, there was no transparency period in this shit. So basically now they're doing these master protocols, which if you enter those, you can now be in those master agreements. So like I said, that's why we're pulling up all these companies, so you guys can see who's actually able to do all these. Fucking retarded. I have too many tabs open here. Oh, fucking trash. Fucking a whole bunch of cities. Credit sus. This Deutsche Bank, whatever the hell this is, they I've seen them a lot in past violations. Yeah, like, they're doing a lot of sketchy shit, so... But you'll notice a lot of these, like Goldman Sachs, obviously, they're always doing sketchy shit. JP fucking Morgan. I know Citadel signed up for it. I just haven't found their. Because basically now to do this shit, to even be able to get into these, you need to. What the hell's my other tab? You need to basically sign up for this stupid ass questionnaire. And you can see the questionnaires right here. It's all public, so if you want to look at it, the questionnaire is stupid as hell. Let's pull it up here. This is all they got to do to get involved for the ISDA contracts, and then they pay a whole $500. But this is, they basically just fill out that. It's like, cool. And then there's a second one after. This basically just tells them a whole bunch of shit. Just terms and crap like that. And after this second one here. Yeah, basically it's just a whole bunch of information. They just need to sign it, and that's really all they need to do and pay $500. Just like everything else. More bullshit. There's this new protocol though, so there's a new protocol coming up here. Oh, what? Can't fucking click on it. This isn't the new one. There's a new one coming up here in like a week. It's like 11 days. They're redoing a whole bunch of votes on. Basically, there's the master is the agreement schedule, and that schedule's like basically the master agreement from 2002. If they want to do any like changes on it or any like rewrites or anything like that, they're gonna vote on that on the schedule. It's on 11 days. It's like $325 to fucking join or watch it. 1 second here. Not a U.S. politician in there. I'm pretty sure there's some U.S. politicians in there, dude. It's just interesting how they, yeah, you know, 130 billionaires from. Check out the United States quick. Yeah, maybe there's not too much. I don't know. I obviously haven't looked too much into it. I was just reading about how they're doing all this shit with shell companies. And I mean, obviously, 90% of these people you see, these hedge funds and companies like that, they all have offshore hedge funds in the Cayman Islands. And it seems like half these places that these guys are doing it, obviously, these shell fucking hedge funds are doing it. There you go, talking about offshore right there. I think I have a fucking list here. Hold on. Save those. Yeah, Fidelity's in there. Visa shows up a shit ton in them. I don't know why Visa's in there a whole bunch. Look at all these Visas. So I mean, for all I know, Visa's up to some bullshit. I might have to check into that a little bit later. Wells Fargo. But it's obviously it's all the main banks that are going to be in these ISDA contracts. They're obviously the ones, like, even in these agreements, as you can see, basically, they're going to be always the party A. It's going to always be these banks. And that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of people, these banks are fucking us, man. And, like, see, this is why I wish this would get more traction. Shit up quick. This post right here, I talk about payment forward flow. I mean, I wrote this shit like 3 months ago. And it's basically what we can do to combat, or not even, I can't say we, I should say retail or a company that's in a short squeeze situation like we're currently in, what they can do to make them win faster. And I feel like obviously this is wrong now, so I mean, I gotta update that. I'm gonna re-update that, but payment for it. I mean, I talked about this a couple months ago right away, how it was fucked up. Dark pools for the last couple months have been, I mean, so this was like 5 months ago. I've been nonstop watching the dark pools, but it's like, I get down here and I start talking about the banks and things like that. And a lot of people, it's like the banks have been allowing all this shit for so long, and the banks are basically the reason that these hedge funds and market makers are still able to keep going. They're going to keep on giving out these shares, these loans. These guys have fucking... They're still able... See, I'm not going to sit there and say that they can't write ISDA contracts, because they could still write ISDA contracts. They're still able to use them. And these banks... The problem was before is these banks have their own dark pools as well. So these banks were trading their own shares in dark pools. They're doing all... The banks are so fucked up, and they run the DTCC, so they're allowing all the corruption on top of it. So it's like... These banks... The main central ones... Like... They're not going to stop unless we start affecting this. And I mean, there's so many things we can start doing. Like, so I mean, this shit was 3 months ago. And I mean, we're seeing this shit every day. Like CEI. Even look at this shit. Side plays. Talking about the banks, cryptocurrencies, options. They've been killing us in options, our weekly options, instead of buying stocks. The bonds, obviously, when you gotta, we were looking at bonds and stocks and how they're negatively correlated. So basically, when the stocks go up, the bond price goes down. Hold on, what? Wired, I don't care. Go deal with that with him, man. I'm not even involved in that, dude. That's between you and him, my friend. Now back to these. So, like I said, we can still... There's still a shit ton more to download from more of those companies. These are just the main banks. Obviously, the banks signed up right away. Hedge funds probably did it. I could go back and look at it and get the second date, because the hedge funds probably all, I figured, signed up on the second day. So we guys go check quick. Take a quick little peek ski here. They're not in that one. Let's check this one. Sorry, my shit's being slow as fuck. Oh, they weren't in the second day. We'll find Citadel. Fuck them. Well, my bad, y'all. Squid Games, is that funny? I never saw it. What did October 12th? Sorry, I just read that. I don't know what's he talking about for October 12th. I was listening to some fucking stupid. Man, we just read that. So Ezra saying a run for October 12th. Does he say why? Is it his fractal stuff? I don't know. I don't see anything about the 12th. Oh, Charlie, put it up. I'm just curious at anyone watching. What are you guys' thoughts on computer share? I can put my video if you guys care. Be honest though, I don't really think it's we're switching over there. That's just I mean, Charlie's smart as fuck, man. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people should watch Charlie. I mean, even if he's wrong on shit, he gives out good information, or on top of that, he at least gives you something to go look at, or gives you an idea on some things. And I mean, I talk to Charlie all the time. I mean, he's just like everyone else, man. He loves to learn, so it's just if you're gonna talk to people like that, like Charlie. I mean, the problem is like the guy lately, he's done a shit ton of DD on like computer share non-stop. The dude literally gets attacked every day, all day long. That's all it is. It's just non-stop attacking the guy, and I'm like, dude. And that's the problem is. So here's that thing I was talking about. So here's that new master agreement coming up. But of course, God fucking forbid, $325 just to fucking register to attend this bullshit. And it's an online course thing or whatever. There's gonna be some speakers on it, classic. I should just fucking do it anyways. See, these are some people I need to fucking contact. But yeah, here's that thing I was looking for though. It's in 11 days is that meeting though. Yeah, computer share is not the way. It really isn't. And I mean, everything I've read, there's so many things that you can get fucked over when you're trying to sell. And I mean, everybody can say they can sell instantly, but it's a lot different now than what I've been seeing when you're trying to mow ass and like. But like I said, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes time. But obviously, all those people also thought it was gonna explode when they switched over, and GameStop's not doing nothing either. So. The other thing, too, that's the problem with the computer share. Alright, so let's say we expose that there's naked shares or whatever synthetics. Problem is most of those are going to be legal from market makers. And, okay, so now you've exposed that there's a lot of legal naked synthetics. Now what? What are they going to do? I don't know. At that point, they might... Who knows? They could do anything they felt necessary, including delisting it until they could figure shit out. So it's just... And like Dave said, if you take too many people go into computer share, you take too much liquidity out of the market in certain areas and on certain exchanges, you're going to start being removed from those indexes, because obviously those indexes need to have a certain amount of shares as well. So they're going to start removing them if you're taking too much liquidity out. And I mean... It might not be a form of market manipulation, but if everybody's sitting there talking about it on Reddit and all these things, hey, we're gonna go move our shit over just for this sole purpose to expose that, then maybe they could, but I don't know. It's just not worth it. I feel like it's just a big distraction from everything else, to be honest with you. It sucks because I didn't look at these until I jumped on this live. I thought they were gonna have way more information than these. I thought they were like gonna say how many shares were on there, how much they paid for them. What the fuck? I'm gonna end up sending these to, I don't know if you guys know PB Jelly, but he works in a lot of legal stuff, so I might just send these over to him, see what he has to say about them. Cause I don't really see anywhere where it says like corporations entered or anticipate entering into one or more of these transactions. Whoa. I should tell you what the fuck the transactions are. Mr. Master. You said you sent me it on Twitter? Oh, I'm trying to fucking...
Spreadsheet of bonds that matured on the 24th. Now, these are straight out of the Federal Reserve Security Lending Operations Facility. Now, just keep this in mind. So now that we've seen that, we can actually type the CUSIP number in and see when the bill was issued, when it matures, and everything like that. Well, guess what? It happened to be issued on July 27th, 2021, and the maturity date was August 24th. Now, that's the interesting part right here, the issue date and the maturity date. So the 24th we ran, it was a 30% day, but the options is where it went really crazy. So continuing on. Remember? That was a good day. Very good day. And we
That's
kind of
my
been with
birthday.
this
It's a hell of a
weird little
good
bear
day.
flag, or bull flag since then. But you know. Anyways. Moving on. Now let's turn back to our spreadsheet. What can we infer about this spreadsheet? Well, the last day that anything was traded was 8/9/2021, which happens to be 15 days before the run. So between 8/9 and 8/24, that was a 15-day period. On the 15th day, we spiked. And the holdings doubled, by the way. The holding pattern doubled right about right when the other one was issued. So, yeah, makes sense, right? Okay, so as we can see, the last day this bond was purchased was on 8/9/2021, or 15 days before the run. This is for the bond that was maturing 8/24. Now let's look at the bond maturing on 10/12. What do you notice? Same kind of situation. Doubles about the halfway point, and we have an expiration at 10/12. So we do the same process. We plug in the CUSIP number, and we get our treasury bond. Guess when this one was issued? The auction date was June 9th, 2021. That was the shareholder meeting for GameStop. The issue date was on the short interest receipt date for GME and the whole market as a whole on June 15th. So how about that? The maturity date is the 12th of October. By the way, I love this morph feature on these PowerPoints. It's pretty sick nasty. So now we turn back to our spreadsheet and we notice what? The dates. When was the last date that it was traded? 9/28. Well, that happens to be a 14-day difference until the 12th. A 1-day difference due to Labor Day, perhaps? Not sure. I'll take the 1-day discrepancy to see if this is going to work. All right, everyone. So I have a hypothesis. I don't do this very often. The last time I did, I hit it right on the head of the nail. Okay, so we're going to predict the next run using Treasury auctions Yes, I know I'm retarded. Okay, so look at this thing swirl around in this cup and be amazed by it. Now, anyways,
Oh,
okay, so using the 8/24/21 day as a past example, what I have here on the screen is a spreadsheet of bonds that matured on the 24th. Now, these are straight out of the Federal Reserve Security Lending Operations Facility. Now,
no. We're just gonna end that. Alright, so let's do it. Pull a couple more of these things here real quick. Pull back up YouTube. Get that music going back. Do you guys want to listen to any songs or anything?